بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وبعد. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He informs us that لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. The ahkam of Islam are not meant to be beyond our physical capabilities and capacities. So if there's something recommended in Islam for you and I to do, that action is within the purview and the parameters of us as human beings of accomplishing. When we are talking about emotions, and in particular the emotion of anger and our ego, Islam is very clear on the harms, the sins of letting our egos take the better of us and succumbing to our anger. But somebody may ask, anger, ego, being upset, frustrated, aren't these natural traits of human beings? As a human being, Allah created me as someone who can have anger, someone who can be frustrated, somebody who has an ego. So why is it that Islam is telling me that don't be upset, don't be angry, don't get into arguments, but as a human being, I have these qualities. And this is where the beauty of the hadith shines. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he teaches us in an authentic hadith that لا يهجر أخاه المسلم ثلاثة أيام. That in the Quran, in the hadith, we learn that when someone is upset with someone else, I should not be upset, I should not be angry, but I have a grace period of 3 days. Islam, the Sharia, understands that I am a human being, and it has given me 3 days to come back to my senses, to cool down and calm down. This is the understanding of the Sharia. So the Sharia says, as a human being, you have an ego. As a human being, you have anger, but you are not allowed to keep that anger unchecked. So for instance, me and my brother, me and my sister, me and my spouse, we get into a disagreement. Anger, emotions are really high. One person yells at the other person. There's a misunderstanding, and we leave the room frustrated with one another. Sharia isn't forcing me that at that moment you have to turn back and seek forgiveness right away. That's just human. I need time to myself. I need time to clear my thoughts, clear my mind, to make sense of what's happening. So the Sharia says, Allah says, you have 1 day, you have 2 days, you have 3 days. After 3 days, no more excuse. In the 3 days, think as much as you want, contemplate as much as you want, think about your strategy, think about what's better for you in this relationship and whatnot. But by the 3rd day, it is haram for you not to go back and reconcile. Because the Sharia understands that as human beings, we have these misunderstandings, but our relationships are much more important. Now somebody can ask, wait, what if somebody did wrong to me? You know, somebody slandered, somebody did something harmful to me, that's why I'm not talking to them. That's fine. From the Shari'i perspective, if somebody's done wrong to me, I am allowed to be upset, I'm allowed to be frustrated, and I'm not meant to completely mend my relationship the way it was. I can say, by virtue of you being my brother or sister in Islam, I am giving you salam, but I am fully rightful in being upset with what you said, and until you don't rectify that, I will not be fully on terms again. But I still need to initiate conversation. In all of our lives, I include myself here, there are so many relationships where I haven't spoken to somebody in years. One is, I don't speak to somebody in years because I'm busy. You know, I forget to call them, that's fine, that's normal. But there's a person I got in an argument with, it's been 3 months, 4 months, 1 year, 3 years, 10 years. I'm just not talking to them because of how angry I am. We should do our best to not let our petty disagreements prevent us from fulfilling the rights of Islam. And this is not to say that if I reconcile that they're right and I'm wrong. No. Inshallah, on the Day of Judgment, if there's some huquq and rights that I need to get back, I can get that back. But for the right of Islam, I should at least start a conversation, and that is what the Sharia asks of us. So in conclusion, we all have egos, we all have anger, we all get upset, it's normal. No one is exempt from this, we're not angels. But the Sharia gives us a grace period to work on our anger and to mend our relationships. Even if the other person is wrong and I feel I'm right, I should, extend the olive branch and be the one to reconcile. And if I can't do that much, at least I can make it easy that when the person comes to me, I'm all open arms. Sometimes we're so angry that even if the person texts me, the person reaches out to me, I'm not going to respond. Because why? I feel angry. So we're not even extending the olive branch, we're refusing to acknowledge reconciliation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspire us to fix our akhlaq, to mend our relationships, and to strengthen our bonds. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. After the remaining sunan, we will have our weekly hadith.